What's up, besties? Welcome back to Turning Tides Tarot. My name is Alicia. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I am going to get a love reading. We're going to find out what's going on with the person who's most on your mind, whether that be past or present, or maybe it's a crush. I don't know who it is, someone that you love. It's going to be about someone that you love. What is going on with the person who is most on our collective's mind? Thank you so much, Spirit. Let's get into it. What's going on with the person who is most on our collective's mind? We have the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the High Priestess. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. Oh boy. Oh boy. Listen, the person who's most on your mind is going through it right now. I got to tell you that much. I know there's a bit of a glare, so maybe I'll try to move this over here. Look, with the Page of Pentacles, this is your person here really wants to communicate. They want to open some dialogue here. They want to talk and maybe come forward with some kind of offer, right? Something that they've been thinking about. Okay, they've been thinking about quite a bit here. We have the Nine of Swords. We have the Three of Swords. Something has been weighing very heavily on their heart in regards to your connection. Okay, now in their heart of hearts, they really want a positive movement forward. They want to move on. They want things to change. They want things to move forward in a positive direction, okay? And they definitely really want to communicate what's been going on with them. They've been having a lot of trouble sleeping at night, and they've been going through a lot of anxiety and maybe even a little bit of fear here with this Nine of Swords energy, Three of Swords. It's like thinking about all the worst case scenarios, all the things that were said, especially if y'all had words recently, okay, or even just in the past, because the Three of Swords is ruminating over things of the past, painful situations, things they've been holding on to. I feel like they want to plan something here with the Three of Pentacles. They're putting in some kind of plan on how to move forward in a positive way, because at the end of the day here, you're still the person that they're thinking about. You're still the person that they see themselves with the Ten of Cups. This is like you are their ideal person in a love relationship. They see you as being like, you make them really happy. Okay, you really make this person happy. But with the Five of Wands, y'all may want different things or have wanted different things in the past. Your person really wants things to change, but they're not quite sure how to go about enacting that change. Okay, with the High Priestess here, they feel like you already know things about them. They feel like you are very magical, very mystical. You have this bond, or perhaps a little bit of this, telepathic bond where the two of you can pick up on each other's emotions and your thoughts. And they have this feeling like you kind of already know everything. And they don't really want you to see how much pain they have actually been going through behind the scenes. Now, why they don't want you to see that, I don't know. But with the Tower, we can ask, because I feel like they're keeping this part of themselves pretty hidden, but they are going through it right now with the Tower. We have the Fool underneath the Tower. They really want some kind of do-over, some kind of restart, some kind of, hit the button. If you are in a committed partnership, okay, and I don't always read for folks who are, and that's okay. I was told in a poll recently that you'd like to see more readings for people who are in relationships. If you are currently with this person in a relationship, you may have had some differences of opinions, or maybe even like a little argument where some things were said. These things that were said, I feel like I didn't mean that energy around it. I feel like tensions could have gotten heated between the two of you. And it's like, can we start from scratch, And it's not always like, the worst thing to do. I actually do it with my son all the time. If, like, say I'm in a bad mood, or I know this is a love reading, but I'm giving you this as an example. If I'm in a bad mood, or if he's in a bad mood, and we get snippy with each other, or maybe I say something I didn't mean, or whatever, vice versa, we say, hey, we take a breath, we take a minute, we calm down, and we say, hey, can we do this again? Can we try it again? Right? And we start over like the whole scenario. We just kind of get a blank slate and restart the discussion from a more calm space or something like that, right? So when tensions are high, when emotions are high, sometimes things get heated, right? So this is giving kind of that same energy, like, hey, can we go back and can we have this conversation again? Or can we try something again here? Now, if this is somebody that you're crushing on, okay, or somebody that like this, believe it or not, this person they feel like they botched a whole conversation. Have you ever had an awkward conversation with somebody that you really like and you just can't seem to get the words out properly, or you say something stupid and you trip over yourself? This is giving that kind of an energy scenario, okay? If this is someone from the past, okay, if this is someone from your past, then it's kind of, it's the same kind of thing, right? They're wanting a reset, a restart, because at the end of the day, they're still thinking that you are the one that they want to be with here. They do want forward momentum. They are trying to put in some kind of plan here so that they can at least open the lines of communication, and then the two of you can maybe start this conversation again, okay? Because with the Tower here, it tells me that this is hitting them a lot harder than they thought, and they're really seeing their own role, or how they showed up, how they didn't show up, and the things that they've said. They want to change that, okay? Now, sometimes that will come with an apology. Most times it should come with an apology, both parties, if that's the case, if there was an argument or whatever. But at the end of the day, they feel like this is something that you kind of already know. And I want to know why. I'm going to clarify the High Priestess, because they see you as being this person who's really connected to not only them, just to like the secrets of the universe and the unknown. Like they feel like maybe you're psychic, or you're really gifted, you're very intuitive. But the thing is like, even if you can read someone's mind, you still need that person to come forward and speak on the thing that that they're thinking about. You know what I mean? You still need to see some kind of action. And this is what they're planning on doing. They are planning on taking some sort of action so that they can have some kind of do-over, okay? In a conversation. I'm getting specifically in a conversation, or maybe it's like a whole date. Maybe you've gone out on a date with a person, okay? Maybe you've had a couple dates and the last one was just really shit, like they said something stupid, or you guys had a little difference of opinion or something like that. It just feels like, oh my gosh, I really screwed this up. Did I screw this up forever? I wonder if we can just kind of try that again, like let's do it over. And so, yeah, they feel like you kind of already know this, or they're hoping that you already know this, or you're picking up on this, that maybe they were just, having a really bad day, or, whatever the case is here. It feels more like I was just really off. I wasn't feeling like myself. I was very combative. I was very I was just in a real bad mood even, okay? It was in a real bad mood, and now it's like I said something I obviously can't go back on, and I wish I really could. Okay, so the High Priestess, what's going on with the High Priestess? What do they think that you know? Page of Swords, you know that they are still watching you, and that they're still learning. Oh my gosh, okay. They're still learning. Why am I getting that? No wonder why I was picking up on young energy. So whether it doesn't matter if they're like 85 freaking years old, they're still learning in some way. Now, I mean, it is what it is. But with the Page of Pentacles too, this is like, I'm still learning how to communicate my truth, or I'm still learning how to communicate. I'm still learning. Why am I still learning? Because the Page of Swords sometimes is a student. Right? And same with the Page of Pentacles. All pages are like student energy, where we're still learning something. I'm still learning how to communicate in a healthy way. I'm still learning to communicate what it is that I really want, communicate my boundaries, like so many things, right? So this person feels like kind of like a fool, to be honest with you, because even, like I said, even if they're friggin' 80 years old, they still feel like a child. Like they feel very childish, very like foolish and pretty immature because of the situation that has taken place between the two of you recently. So what is the, okay, Page of Swords. They're still, they know that they know that you know that they're still watching you and that they are not as experienced as you, I want to say, okay? In what? In committed partnerships, committed relationships, and being serious, taking things seriously with the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Cups. Yeah. This kind of gives a kind of like a very, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it gives a little bit of silly energy. Like this person, you could have been mad at them, okay, or they could have said something that was very foolish, very childish, very immature. And they're like, well, I was just joking, or I was just having fun, or, you know, and I don't know why I'm getting like they were in a bad mood. Okay. So you know how people can be like really witty and maybe give like a backhanded compliment or something like that, or be snarky. They think they're being funny, but they're really not. They're being hurtful. It's a situation like that. It's a situation like that. And I feel like you obviously weren't having it. Or you may have said something, or you may have ended a date early, or you may have, you know, drawn a line, or you may have said, okay, well, you know, because I honestly have death at the bottom of the of the deck here. Okay, so you may have, you know, kind of walked away from something or put your foot down, or, you know, I am getting that this is more of like a recent scenario, a recent situation. Okay. Now, we have 3 actually major arcana energies in this reading. Well, technically 4, because now we have death. But this is like, okay, let me break it down. They're currently, whatever happened, this like, I don't know what to call it. I really don't know what to call it. Because it just feels like it was a stupid thing, like a really stupid thing that they said, to be honest with you. It feels very not... like they weren't thinking. It's like somebody who spoke before they thought, you know, and now they're over here paying the consequences, and they can't stop replaying the conversation, and they know that it hurt you. And now it's like they're the ones that are hurting for their own stupidity. Like, you know what I mean? There's a realization that, oh my gosh, it's like, why did I sabotage this? I did this to myself. This is so freaking stupid. I keep hearing this is so freaking stupid. So this person is definitely saying these kinds of things to themselves when they're replaying the conversation, when they're replaying the scenario. They're like, oh my God, why was I being so stupid? You know, with the Tower. Okay, so the Tower is a major arcana. This is hitting them hard. This is like, it feels like everything's falling apart. You know, it feels very chaotic for them because I do believe with the 10 of Cups, this person does see you as being the one at the end of the day, like I said, right? At the end of the night, you know, they're still thinking about you. You're the one that brings joy and happiness into their life. You know, you're the one that they want to be with. They do love you. They want to, you know, and they're trying to cook up some kind of plan to get you to open the line of communication again. I do feel like this is a situation that you put your foot down, and you're the one who said, okay, well, you know, I don't allow myself to be treated in this kind of way. Like, I don't allow people to talk to me like this, or I don't think that this is funny. You know what I mean? You may have shut down the conversation, shut down the date, shut down the whatever it was here, okay? Shut down the relationship even, right? So you're like, you know, it's like, what is that saying? You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And this is the person who's getting their stupid prize right now, right? And it doesn't feel like a prize. It's actually making them feel like their world is falling apart, and they're not getting a lot of sleep over this. They're losing sleep over this. This person is losing sleep over this last conversation that y'all had, okay? And they are obviously with the Fool here really wanting, they're feeling foolish, but they are really hoping that you might allow them to try again. Like in a very, it just feel like what like I said, I brought my son into this reading because like, it feels a little childish. It does. But again, I mean, I'm not here to judge anyone's level of experience in mature, healthy relationships. You know, not everybody is there, right? Not everyone's there. And we're all continuously learning, right? We all are. And a lot of folks are new to showing up in a healthy way in relationships. And why do I say that? It's because a lot of people are becoming aware of, what's toxic and what's not healthy. And like, this is really being talked about, right? Just in general, like in general. Whereas maybe 10 years or 20 years ago, we weren't really talking about these things. People were just accepting shitty behavior. And, I don't know. It just kind of is very much like in the consciousness, like we all want to grow. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be happy. We all respect ourselves and others, and we have boundaries and we have standards. And, I know that those things existed before, but I mean, it's really, really big in the collective, right? In the overall collective right now, which is a good thing, right? But we do have to, whether or not we want to deal with people who are still learning is another conversation. But there are people who are, have recently discovered that maybe they were showing up in a toxic way, or maybe they've gone through, a lot of awakenings are happening, and people are, believe it or not, trying to better themselves, right? So again, like I said, it's another conversation whether or not you want to be there for someone who is just learning or not. That's going to be your call. But knowing that this person who's still on your mind too is really thinking about, it's like they're really thinking about, how can I do better? How can I show up better? How can I show up differently? I was really stupid. I said something really stupid, and I feel like this. And so with death comes endings, beginnings, the change, right? Change. So an opportunity for things to transform. If you were to allow this person to open up these lines of communication, and let's just see what they want to say to you. Let's just see right now what they want to say, because again, they are planning on coming forward, because this is really weighing very heavily on their heart and in their mind, right? And again, this could resonate for you if you are even married to this person, okay? It's, something that you're just not doing it anymore with them in some sense, where, I'm not having these conversations. I'm not going to stand for you talking to me this way, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the things I've already said. So I'm going to use my deck of direct messages, and I'm going to see, let's just get a little bit of details here about maybe what they said or what they want to say, what they're thinking of, something like that, okay? Let's see what pops up here. I don't want to pigeonhole it. It could be any of those things. I have mother issues. Yeah, this person is healing. Okay, they may have said something stupid. Like if this is a man, okay, they may have, or it doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman. But I'm specifically getting for a handful of you that if this is a man, they have mother issues. They may have said something derogatory against women or something like that set you off, and you were like, no. I'm not that for you. I am not this. I'm not that, or however it went down. And now they're saying, I feel lost without you. Okay. Something about the way you love, the nurturing. Like, I don't want to get into their issues, but this is confirming that this is somebody who's learning how to show up properly in a relationship. Okay. They're trying to change their ways. They're consciously trying to stop saying toxic shit, okay? Or stop showing up in toxic ways. Like, no, I'm not calling them 100% toxic, but, they're saying, I feel lost without you. And whether or not you agree with this next statement or not, I am going to show you what's at the bottom of the deck. It says we have lifetimes to figure this out. So again, they feel like the two of you are very much connected, right? They do feel like, the two of you have a very deep bond, okay? That maybe y'all have even gone through this before in another life, or they feel like, they're going to be with you forever, or, there's something here, right? They can see you as being their person that they settled down with. Maybe y'all are already settled down. I mean, this is general, so place it where it belongs for you, my friend. Okay. So I'm going to see, because I know they're planning on taking some kind of action, opening the lines of communication. And let's just see right here, right now, what that could be. What is the next action here? And then I'll decide, yeah, they're working on it. Working on themselves, self-mastery. Okay, this person, like I said, I'm getting that this person is not, like, they're learning. This person is learning, and they're trying to do better. Okay, this person is consciously trying to do better. Okay, because they do want you in their life. I got to be honest with you. Like, they do want you in their life. They may have shown up in the past as being very closed off, very, they don't really talk about their emotions. They're really like holding things very close to the vest. They're trying to work on opening up, right? They may even be writing down their feelings right now. Sometimes with this Three of Pentacles, I get writing or journaling or trying to plan, strategize, okay, on how they can open up and share some things with you, right? Or what they've been feeling, what they've been going through, how they feel lost without you, all right? Now, for those of you who are interested, I will dive deeper into an extended. I'll post the link to the top of the comments, and there we will dive, like I said, dive deeper. We're going to see what energy they're going to come in towards you, what energy they're going to be in towards you in the relationship. We're going to see what they've been thinking about. So what's on their heart, or sorry, what's in their mind, what's in their heart, how they're feeling, you know, how are they changing? How are they wanting to improve? What steps are they going to take? So we're going to talk about the changes. We're going to talk about whether or not you can trust them. We're also going to talk about what the potential is if you are to open up the lines of communication or allow them to come towards you and have a conversation about this. If you were to press the reset button, what's the potential there? And then we'll also take a look at more of, we'll pull some more direct messages to see what they'll have to say. But in the meantime, let me just pull, I want to pull on the romance angels because I want to see what Spirit has to say about this relationship. Yeah, there we go. Give your relationship a chance. Give it a chance, you know? Now, you have free will. You do with what you do with this information, what you will, friends. But Spirit is saying give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Work on your partnership. And this is what they want. At the very least, this is what they want to do, okay? So I'll drop that link below. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate your energy exchange. Thank you for being part of my day, and I hope to see you in the extended. If not, we'll see you in the next reading. And I'm very much looking forward to putting out more short content and still the long format stuff as well. Yeah, I'm just kind of working on things behind the scenes, getting it all set up. Thank you to everybody who's ordered personal readings. I can't wait to connect with you on a personal level. And if you're looking for that as well, I'll post all the information to the top comment. I'm sending you lots of love. Thank you for being here and have a blessed day.